I want to point something out. If watching finance videos made people wealthy, YouTube would be full of millionaires, but it's not. As a late starter, you already know what compound interest is. You know index funds. You've heard 50, 30, 20 rules 100 times, but you're still financially behind. Here is why. Every piece of advice online assumed you started at 22 with 40 years of compounding runway and a lot of time to recover from market crashes. This strategy is not for you if you're starting late. You've already lost years of compounding time. You don't have decades to slowly recover from market crashes because every downturn sets you back. You can't compress time and accelerate result with this kind of strategy. I know this because I started late also. I came to America as an adult immigrant, but I went from a minimum wage salary to building a seven-figure net worth in just 7 years. Not by following conventional advice, but by using a system designed specifically for people who need to catch up. A system that I have shown to hundreds of other late starters and they have caught up. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly why the advice you've been following is not working, what actually keeps you stuck, and the three-move framework that changes the math for late starters. Now, these statistics should make every finance creator uncomfortable. The National Institute of Retirement Security says you should have 3 to 6 times your salary saved by age 50, which means that on a $60,000 salary, you should have at least $360,000 saved. But most people at this age have just 37,700. Now that gap isn't a discipline problem, it's a strategy problem. Part 1. Every finance video follows the same formula. Spend less than you earn, build an emergency fund, max out your 401k, invest in index funds, wait 30 to 40 years to see the result so you can retire comfortably. That formula, it works. But for someone who started at 22, but you're in your 40s, you have a mortgage, you have kids, you might have aging parents, you have debt, you have obligations that a 22-year-old in a dorm room cannot imagine, and you are being handed the exact same roadmap. That's not financial advice. That is a strategy that makes you feel like you're the problem. But the problem isn't you. The problem is that you're using a gameplay that is built on an asset you don't have, and that is time. Early starters invest small amounts and let decades of compounding and consistency do the heavy lifting. That's a beautiful strategy. If you have decades, but you don't. You have 10 years, 15 years, maybe 20. But 15 years of $50 a month in an index fund at 7%, that gives you about $26,000. $26,000. That's the retirement you're building right now if you're following conventional advice. And no one is saying that out loud. So here's the reason why you're really stuck. Number 1, you're trying to compress 40 years into 15 years using a 40-year strategy. The math doesn't work. You can't drive from New York to LA in 10 hours following the directions built for a 30-hour drive. You need a different route, not just more speed on the same road. Reason number 2, you are investing before you've earned the right to invest. If you are on a low income and putting $50 a month into an index fund, you're not building wealth. You're performing the idea of building wealth. The return on investment in a high income skill right now is exponentially higher than $50 a month in the market. Invest that $50 a month in a high income skill, in getting yourself the ability to earn more, because it's easier and better to invest $1,000 into the market than $50. Reason number 3, you're protecting yourself from the wrong thing. Late starters, I do understand. They're terrified of losing money. I was there, and that fear is rational. But most people don't know that there are legal proven vehicles where your capital is fully protected from market loss. You only capture the gains and never the losses, and your growth is completely tax-free. This is what I use. This is the vehicle that I used. This is how I got from 30K a year minimum wage salary to a 7-figure net worth using this vehicle in just 7 years. Now, what actually works? 3 moves and in this exact order. Move number one, invest in yourself before you invest in the market. For me, I worked in a computer school lab, minimum wage, but I had a computer science background that I wasn't using. So I looked up the highest paying tech jobs that I could realistically access without having the experience. And I found network engineering. I took that little money that I was putting into the market, I completely stopped that and funneled that money into getting myself better. I was setting aside every month and I bought equipment and the courses and the books, and I gave myself 6 months, 5 hours every day after work. 12 hours every weekend, 6 months, I practiced and drilled myself and practiced to become a network engineer. 6 months later, I had that job. 4 months into that job, I went from 54K to 95. And 2 years later, I was earning multiple six figures because I kept stacking high income skills. From network engineering, I went into cybersecurity and went into solution architecture. Every skill multiplied my earning power and my ability to invest more. You cannot save your way to wealth. You cannot save $50 your way to wealth as a late starter. You have to earn your way there. It is better to invest $1,000 a month than $50. Now, you might say it must be nice to be able to invest more, but I'm telling you, do not let excuses and blame game keep you from financial freedom. You already have the knowledge. Now it's time for you to take the right action that is designed for your reality and where you are and move towards your goal. Move number two, structure before you scale. Fix your structure. What you do with $50,000, you would do the exact same thing with 200K a year. More money without structure doesn't build wealth. It just makes the money leak out more. Structure means your money has a job the moment it arrives. It has a job before you touch it, before the car breaks down, before you go on trips, or before you help somebody else. You automate everything, your savings, your investment, your debt repayment, all of it. Make your money move without your willpower or your memory. And set boundaries for yourself. You have to set boundaries with yourself with the money. You have to set boundaries with yourself first, because what you tolerate from yourself with money, you will tolerate from people. If you have no respect for your money and you just throw it out, give it out, spend it on whatever, you will do the same when people call you for it. Move number three, protect the gain and eliminate the loss. This is the move conventional finance doesn't teach people who are starting late and cannot afford to lose. The vehicle that I use to avoid market crashes, avoid stock market losses, capture only gains, and keep my money tax free, because that's another big one, is the Index Universal Life policy, an IUL. It's not a new concept. Wealthy families have used it for decades. The Rockefellers used it, and his wealth has lived 6 generations now. Here is how it works. Your money is tied to a market index, so you capture gains when the market goes up. But when the market drops, like what happened in 2008, 2020 during COVID, whatever comes, your floor is zero. Your principal and your gains don't go backwards, and your growth is tax free. That is what I personally use, and I've used it for 7 years. This is how you build a structure that moves forward no matter what happens. Instead of playing a yo-yo game with the market, one day you're up, the next day you're down 10%, the next year you're up 20%, the following year you're down 30%. You want to be in a place where you cannot lose what you put in and you keep everything that you grow. This is how 7 years did what 40 years does on a traditional path. And if you need more information on this, let me know, because I've had it for a while now. The hard truth is that 64% of Americans are more afraid of running out of money than dying. And yet most of them will spend tonight the same way they've spent last night, watching, consuming content, collecting information they already have. Knowledge without a system is just a very expensive entertainment. Because the people who turn their finances around, like me, in their 40s, are not smarter or luckier than you. They found a system built for their situation, and they worked that system very consistently to get the result, like I did. That is the entire difference. So if you're ready to actually get to your goal, I am hosting a 1-hour workshop where I will walk you through the exact system that I used. the account, the automation, the structure, how to protect your money from market loss and grow it completely tax-free. Because in 60 minutes, you will see and know your starting number, you will close your leaks, and you create a personalized system that works for late starters. The link is in the description, and that workshop is completely free. That's all I have for today, and I see you in the next video.